Okay, so let's just say if you are an aspiring artist who doesn't want to win, doesn't want to have a huge record, doesn't care to win, so to speak, for lack of a better word. If you're one of those that's not important to you and you just want to make a couple of tunes here and there, this video might not be for you. Overall, I don't even know if this channel is technically would be for you. I just came off watching a video on YouTube it came into my feed, I guess because of some of the stuff I do on my channel. And I think I put off watching it for a day or two because the title I found to be off-putting. And I guess the title is important in the YouTube thing these days. The title was "The Music Industry is Dying, and That's a Good Thing." Okay. Eventually I took the bait, and I guess that was this morning, and I decided, all right, I'll watch this thing. I don't think I watched it last night. I watched it this morning. But I did go back and check a few things. Something just came through here. I did go back and double check on what the message was. And I'll say this. I found his overall concept to be well put together. It's a coherent thought, probably more than mine somewhat. But it is, I would say, 90% of everything 90% of everything that I'm against when it comes to artists and creating art and music business and music industry. I guess the overall premise of the music industry is dying and that's a good thing. In my opinion, what I took out of it is that the thing that you should fear the most, and it's something that I talked about in some other videos with regards to the naysayers, and how you should avoid the naysayer. This concept to me comes across more as misery loves company. And what I mean by that is there's many ways to look at that, not just in the music business, not just in the art business, the publishing, authors, anything on the creative tip. There are, obviously it's a 0.1% become the Lady Gagas and Taylor Swifts and U2s and Coldplays of the world. But then there's definitely a comfortable level just below that where you can have a really awesome career and put your art out and connect with artists. And then there are the naysayer crowd who eventually fall into what I'm describing as the misery loves company crowd. And that is the one now that's gaining, I'll be honest, like the guy's video, the music industry is dying and that's a good thing. There were, at last count, I thought like 1,000 comments that I saw. And I read through a lot of them. I mean, not a lot of them, but a bunch. And very supportive. But the overall theme is, yes, we should all be happy to not win. Winning isn't everything. I had a friend of mine a while back, a couple of years ago, in the business similar to me. We came up through the same time, more or less. And we were discussing an artist project, and we were discussing production deals and record label things and stuff like that. And I was giving my point of view on how I thought things could be approached. And he said something to me that like stuck with me. And he said, well, you want to win. You always want to win. And I thought about it, and my answer was, yeah, I do. I've always, I think I've always wanted to win. Have I always won? No. But I can't really wrap my head around the idea that you wouldn't want to win or have a desire to win or have an ambition to succeed in any sort of fashion. And I'm talking like you play a video game, I would think that more or less the idea is that you want to get to the top level of the game and see how the damn thing ends. I mean, that's kind of, or you play chess against someone. Do you want to go play chess and just lose forever? Do you want to go play against someone and never beat them? Are you going to never be the guy or the girl that says, I won the chess championship? And the way that this comes across in this video with this guy talking about the music thing is that he had aspired, him and his band had aspired to be rock stars. I mean, I hope he would be at least honest about that. He made some investments time-wise. The band was, an existing thing. They put the time in. They were doing gigs. They were making recordings, apparently, making records. Then decided to get into the how do we improve our numbers thing, because apparently labels weren't interested in, because they weren't getting popular or whatever. So they went down the road of buying into playlists and running ads for themselves, and it turned out to be a fool's errand. It's fool's gold to try and manipulate the system and figure out a way to game the system. Now, when you try to game the system and you lose, the tendency is for the next step is to be like, well, you know what? It's better to not even try and win. It's better to, maybe there's a paradigm shift. I think he used those words. There's a paradigm shift in the world where, everyone's just going to want to exist. Everyone's just going to want everybody to be all the same. And there will be no Lady Gagas. He didn't use these words, but this is my description, is that there will be no more superstars. There will be no more Arnold Schwarzeneggers. There will be no more Leonardo DiCaprios. Everyone will be just a character actor. Every musician will be just all like the rest of us, where we're all just, saying, oh, isn't it cool? So-and-so's doing a gig. Yeah, no one's going to go to the gig. They don't attract any fans, but isn't that great that they're just doing what they want to do, and they're going to make their own recordings, and they, why bother putting them on Spotify? Like, why would you, then God forbid, suppose you get 1 billion streams, like a Kimbra with Gautier, and all of a sudden, what do you do about the concept that you're not down there with everybody else? You're not down there with the crowd. And now that crowd, shockingly enough, won't like you anymore. It's sort of like the days of college radio, which college radio used to be a big thing for rock bands. And if you were big on college radio, it was a stepping stone. It was a good thing. It was like, hey, man, they're really bubbling up. They have an underground grassroots following, and they're getting really big on. And REM is a perfect example. I don't know if you know who that is anymore, but REM was a huge college radio band, super popular amongst the college radio crowd. And then when the masses found them, then college radio and that entire audience decided that REM sucked because they got popular, because they went mainstream and they left the nest. They left their little, like, oh man, why can't they just be that little band anymore that just, fucking struggled around doing pubs and and college gigs and what happened to that? This all goes back to the, how great is it that the music industry is failing? How great is it that the music, it's not a great thing, because what happens is, like, not only does, and it's not failing. You can make your way. There are still Lady Gagas. There are still Dua Lipas. There are still, Harry Styles. Like these people that really want to take things to the next level. Their goals are different than the little band that could in, whatever town, USA. Their group of people that they want around them, or they like strive to be around. They're like, I want to work with the great engineer. I want to work at the great recording studio. I want to work at with a great mixer or the great producer, because that's kind of how it works. Like that's how you win, by having goals to get to these next things, to challenge yourself. As opposed to saying, you know what, we pooled together a few $100 every month and threw some money at ads, and we only got popular in Brazil and South America. So, like, this proves that the music industry sucks, and that it's gamed. It's all rigged. Just like people think YouTube is rigged. YouTube is not rigged. YouTube is built for the audience, for people that want to watch the videos. They're only interested in putting out or promoting or, suggesting videos that they think more people will want to watch, which is why, like, a Mr. Beast is gigantic, because Mr. Beast makes videos that a large amount of people want to watch. I don't. I make videos that, it's a niche thing. I mean, we're talking about up-and-coming artists, new artists, or even, artists that are around that want to maybe take things to the next level, or think about how to get to the next level, or think about, what they aren't doing. Maybe some new ideas will pop in their heads. That's why sometimes I do videos on production techniques or recording techniques or things of that such. So getting back once again to the music industry is dying and that's a good thing concept. To me, it's all about the misery loves company. It's, the crabs are all in the bucket, and as one is starting to climb up to the top, there's a bunch of little crabs trying to grab it and pull it back down into the bucket, say, like, don't leave the bucket, don't leave the nest. And is winning in the music industry for everybody? No. And that's why there are the unicorns and the special ones that pop out for various reasons, whether it's drive and talent and timing and charisma. Let's just not leave that out. If you leave out charisma, I mean, I've been around artists my whole life at this point now, and yes, I can kind of tell pretty quickly and have been able to notice very quickly. Even if I go back to when I didn't have the knowledge, I can remember meeting artists who went on to be huge, and I could think back and go, like, what, that person, they had a thing about them. They had an energy. They had a drive about them that wasn't like, hey, I'm just here to exist. I'm here to just make a record, and I don't want to be a rock star. It's like, you're lying. You all want to be rock stars. You all want to be appreciated for the art that you're putting out. So to say that, like, that's not the goal or whatever, is nuts. That would be like me saying, I don't want anybody to watch the videos that I make. I mean, of course I want people to watch the videos, especially if I think I have something to offer in one. I mean, the Valentine's Day playlists, who knows? That was for fun. Do I care if 40 people watch that one? Yeah, it would be funny to me if it actually took off or whatever. I'm ranting. This is a let me get a sip of coffee for those of you that are still around and haven't quit the music business. They all can't be kumbaya and like let's all tell each other how great we are and how great everything sounds and all that. I mean, the benefits of the music industry being vibrant are endless. I can think of. I mean, not only does the success of a big artist, there's a spillover. There are producers that benefit who can go on to develop new artists. There are recording studios that benefit because the big artist is coming there, spending money, putting money into the music industry economy. That recording studio is going to buy new gear. The new gear is going to be developed by companies who are trying to satisfy the recording studios that are successful, or the producers, that are successful. There'll be touring artists that can touring musicians that can play with the band. I'm sure the band members that are on tour with Lady Gaga or Taylor Swift would not be saying like, hey, it'd be great if the music industry died. That'd be fucking awesome if it just totally tanked and everybody was, their only resort was to, make records in their home studio and put them on Bandcamp for free and see all their other friends do exactly the same thing. That would be awesome. If there was no industry, that would be incredibly good for everybody, because then everybody would be even. I mean, it sounds like, it sounds like some political shit to me. It sounds like socialism or communism. Like, why does some artists get a huge recording budget and I get shit? We should all get the same amount of money. We should all get the same opportunity to play Madison Square Garden, even though Lady Gaga can draw 25,000 people 5 nights in a row and I can't draw 40. Why can't I play? Why can't I play there? Why should that artist play there? And it's always, she became part of the machine and the machine did it, and it's like the Illuminati. And no, I mean, are there factors involved when you light the board up a little bit and get some attention? Yes. As my friend likes to say, then it allows them to put gasoline on the fire. But the fire has to be lit. There has to be something sparking with the general public for someone to say like, hey, you know what? Let's put some money behind this artist. Let's invest. Let's take a risk on this artist. And if it works, we get a return on our investment. If it doesn't, guess what? We're kind of screwed, or we have to figure out a way to raise more money to invest in the next artist. All these reasons, and I could ramble on and on about this, as I already have, are the reasons why the music industry dying is not a good thing.